Today's lesson on quadratics is going to be about when we have an equation. It's not actually a quadratic, but we can change it so that it is a quadratic. This is called using substitution. A couple of things here for you guys to remember. I'm not going to go over them now. You can just write those down in your notes. They're going to come up in the 3 examples that I've got here for you. So example number 1 is actually an example that is in your Walker book on page 67. The way we solve these problems is we look for the middle term of the equation. Okay, so we can see here that we've got -2 times the square root of x plus 3, and we note that we've also got x plus 3 over here. So what I do is I take that middle term, ignore the multiplier at the front, and I set u equal to x plus 3. That means that u squared, remember when we square a square root, it gets rid of the square root, u squared will be x plus 3. From then, my equation now becomes u squared instead of the x plus 3 minus 2 lots of u minus 3 equals 0. From here, I can either use my graphics calculator to solve, or I can use factoring, or I could use a quadratic equation. Factoring for this one would have been really easy, but I just find the calculator really quick. Okay, so from the graphic calculator, we get u equals 3 or -1. We're not finished though. This is u. We wanted to find out what x was. Okay, so finding x, we go back to our u equation. So u equaled x plus 3. Okay, and we found u to be 3 first. So 3 equals the square root of x plus 3. Squaring both sides to get rid of the square root, we get 9 equals x plus 3. Taking away 3 from both sides, we get x equals 6. Okay, and then we also had u equal to -1. Same process. Just remember when you square a negative, it becomes positive. Sorry, the answer will be positive. Take away 3 from both sides, we get x equals -2. Like other quadratic problems we've had, we should test these, especially because we have the square root in the original equation. Okay, so as a test, we just want to make sure that this is going to be positive. So if we put a 6 in there, we'd get square root of 6 plus 3, which is square root of 9. That works out fine. Okay. Next one is this one here. We did the square root of -2 plus 3 would get the square root of -1. That doesn't work out nicely. That won't give us a real solution, so that's not going to work. Our final answer is x equals 6. That's our final solution. This second example is also in Walker. Okay, again, we look for this middle bit here. We have 7 times 2x. So I'm going to set u equal to 2x. And then from there, u squared is 2x to the power of 2, which is the same as 2 to the power of 2x, which is the same as 2 to the power of 2 to the power of x, which is the same as 4 to the power of x, which is what we have right there. Okay, so from there, our equation becomes u squared minus 7 lots of u minus 8. Again, using our graphics calculator, we get u equals 3 or -1. Oh, sorry, I'm looking at the previous example notes and giving you guys wrong answers. Hang on a minute, just get rid of that. We get u equal to 8 and -1. Okay, now we need to find what x is. We had u equal to 2 to the power of x. So when u equals 8, 8 equals 2 to the power of x. We know that 2 to the power of 3 is equal to 8. Therefore, x is equal to 3. When u was equal to -1, we'd have -1 equals 2 to the power of x. No possible solution. Okay, there is no x that will give us this. Therefore, again, we have the one solution, which is x equals 3. Third and final example for you. I'm giving you all three because in your Walker book, it will give you these 3 different types of problems. Right, for this one, again, go to the middle. Okay, we've got x squared in there. So let's let u equal x squared. U squared will be x squared squared, which is x to the power of 4, which is what we have there. Okay, so my equation becomes 8u squared minus 2u minus 3. This one you definitely want to use your graphics calculator or the quadratic equation for. You don't get nice pretty answers. We get u is equal to 3/4 or u equal to -1/2. Okay, still need to find x. So when u is 3/4, we have 3/4 equals x squared. Therefore, x is the square root of 3/4, and that will be plus and minus 0.8660 to 40 small places. When u is equal to -1/2, we get -1/2 equals x squared. Therefore, x equals the square root of -1/2. We can't square root negatives, therefore there is no solution. Okay, so for this problem here, there is just the 2 solutions, which is the plus and minus 0.8660. There could have been up to 4 solutions here. We know that because we've got x to the power of 4 here, but because we cannot square root a negative, we've only got the 2 solutions there.